Last time you saw me, I was in Venice. I've been in Florence for the past 4 days. I haven't really vlogged anything because honestly I feel like it's not worth it. I've been in like museums, churches, I've been walking around, and yeah, I haven't really gotten up to much besides just like walking and sightseeing. But today I actually decided to do something different than what I actually do. I decided to take like a guided tour. And I'm usually not up for things like that, but I am in Tuscany and getting here is really hard, and getting around in these villages in Tuscany, it's very complicated because there's not many trains or buses that come here. So for that reason I decided to do a guided tour because it would just be easier for me to get here and also to kind of learn a bit more about these places. I met 2 people at the hostel I am staying in Florence, and they both agreed that they wanted to do the tour as well. They're both fluent English speakers, but they prefer Spanish because that's their native language. So we decided to do the tour in Spanish, and it's been interesting so far. I haven't even mentioned to you what the names of the towns are. So basically we're going to be in San Gimignano, Chianti, and Siena. I'm really excited to see these towns. It's kind of more of like the countryside of Italy, which is something I prefer a lot more than like the city. This is Francisco, and this is Nicole. He is from Mexico and she is from Chile. But yeah, I'm excited to explore these towns. They're very like urban, medieval, and old. Just in case you ever want to represent for Italy, this is the place to get your bags. So like I said, this is a guided tour, but our guide let us explore for about an hour and a half. We're basically just walking around the town, and it is already so beautiful. It's very like old school and medieval like. I really like these like brick walls and the tall buildings, and they're all together, and we're back at the little like streets and stuff. So cute. We've come to an overlook point and it's so pretty, even though Francisco doesn't think it's that pretty. He's like, yeah, the houses are not that nice. It's what?
Because they are new.
He's saying it doesn't make sense at the city because it's like the old village and then these buildings are pretty new, so it just kind of throws you off. You want to see more of like the antique old buildings, which makes sense, but still it's a nice view, I think. So apparently the town of San Gimignano was known as La Città della Torre, which means the city of the towers. In the 1300s there used to be 72 towers in this small village, and now there's only 15 standing. From here you can see one in the distance, and we were trying to find like a hill or a high point to kind of look down at the village at, but we couldn't. So we only had about an hour and a half to explore San Gimignano, and our guide basically just said this is your first place that you're gonna explore on your own, and he didn't guide us anywhere or anything, which was nice, but I feel like it was not long enough. I feel like I only walked a couple streets and then now it's time to go. But yeah, very picturesque place, very pretty. The people are very friendly as well. I just realized I think I've been saying the name wrong. I think I've been saying San Gimignano and it's San Gimignano or Gimignano. I'm not sure, but I think I've been saying it wrong. Anyway, this is how you spell it. San Gimignano. Mignano? I don't know. Did you like the place?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I love it. I would like to have spend more time there.
Yeah, I know, that's what I said.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Your whole life, yeah. As I was walking around, I was actually thinking instead of being in Florence, I should have came here instead and spent like a day or two and just walk around. These places are so much more special, I think, than the big cities, because I feel like the big cities are just kind of like, you've seen them already, and whether it's online or by other people, and these places are not I can't speak, guys. These places are not explored enough. But yeah, if I ever come back, then these are the places that I would like to come back to. At our second stop, the place is Monterey Yes? I got that wrong like 10 times. I keep asking Francisco, I'm like, how do you say it? And I still got it wrong when I had to say it. Anyway, we just walked into like the plaza, and as soon as you walk in, it smells like coffee. I'm not a big fan of coffee, but the smell is amazing. And then we have just been walking, and this place is just filled with smells. Now it smells like what is the word? Burning wood. I couldn't think of that for some reason. And apparently this place you can like explore in like 20 minutes because it's so tiny. Yeah, so they only gave us 15 minutes to walk around and explore. But just like look at this square. They have like a coffee shop there, and then like a grocery store, and they have 2 restaurants. There's a church, and there's not much. You get a couple of hallways like this, but they don't go on for long. According to our guide, there's only 100 people living in this place, so that's not bad at all. I would actually not mind living in a place with 99 other people. It's kind of cool because, I mean, I am assuming they get a lot of tourists, but it's kind of cool that like at night or on days that it's not so touristy, then you just have a whole place to yourself. And even though it's very tiny, I think it's very nice that there's not many people living in it. He's hiding from everyone. Hey buddy. Guys, this is like the 7th cat I've seen today. For a place with such a small population, there are way too many stray cats in this place. So I'm not sure I got the whole thing right, but I thought the tour guide was gonna be walking around with us and talking to us about the towns, which he hasn't done. I have a feeling we just paid for the bus basically, and then we get to explore on our own. I'm definitely not complaining about that. It's just that I thought I paid for more of like an informational tour. I don't know. Apparently the town of Monterey is built only within the walls of the city, which makes sense why the population is so small. But basically, actually I don't know if I can still show you, but basically Monterey was the last place conquered by Florence, and this is what it looks like. The walls are still standing, and then the town is inside. At a vineyard in Chianti, and so far we're having some wine, and we're gonna have lunch here too, which I'm really excited for, because if you didn't know, food is my favorite part of like any place. Gracias. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. This is number 3.
Sí, están muy diferentes. El pasado.
Oh, I like this one. So we've done the wine tasting. We had 3 different wines. The first 2 were not great, I would say. The first one was like way too strong, I think. The second one was alright, and the third one was my favorite just because it was a bit more sweet. I thought it was okay, to be honest. We had some like basic pasta. The dessert was really good. What's the name of it?
Panna cotta.
Panna cotta. I've never tried that before, but it's really good. Oh yeah, you have to do that. That's probably not a good thing. Did you like your lunch? Did you like lunch?
Yes.
Yeah, good. I mean, I guess you get what you pay for, but at least we had lunch. Also, it's getting very cloudy and it's getting a lot colder, and I feel like I'm not prepared. And this whole tour thing, I don't know if I'll do it again. I feel like it's very rushed, and maybe it's just because we're hitting 3 places in one day. But I don't know if I would do it again, especially because I feel like we're not learning anything, so we're just paying to get to a place, which I could have like rented a car or something. I don't know. I feel like you don't get much. We just got to Siena, and we got these radio things. I feel like a spy because I'm like listening to everyone that's talking like near the tour guide, and yeah, I think it's pretty funny because I don't think they know that we can hear them. I mean, clearly I was wrong about not having a guided tour. The last place we are having a guided tour, or at least learning about the place, but our guide is like not the best, to say the least. The only bad thing about being in a group is the fact that I am always left behind, because I stop for pictures, for video, to talk to people, to see things, just to do my own thing, and I can't like keep up with the group. But this is good. That's a good thing about this little radio thing, that I can listen still. When I was going in the church, he was telling us a story about the name of the church, and he's either really bad at telling stories, or it's just a language barrier that he can't translate properly. But yeah, very odd. Now he's talking about a dragon or something, but I haven't been listening because I'm talking to you, so I'm gonna try to pay attention and remember what he says and tell you. So I'll be back. He's apparently pointing at a statue now and a bridge. I don't know where he is, so I don't know what he's talking about. And something about a dragon. You know, the way I'm explaining it to you, it kind of feels like the same way he is telling us.
No, you're telling me better.
Ah, I'm saying it better. Okay, there you go. Did you catch what he said? No. Okay. I think we're all in the same boat and we don't really understand what's going on, but we're just gonna follow him and kind of try to piece the things together. You know, I'm thinking I'm kind of over churches and museums. I thought Mexico had a bunch of churches, but no, Europe wins on that scale. But I'm over it. I'm just tired of seeing all the museums and churches. It's different architecture, different like stories, but to me it's just all the same now. I'm kind of like, all right, let's do something else. So apparently all these heads represent the most important people in Italy, and that third head from the right is Michelangelo. And yeah, these are all the important people of Italy. Lots of important heads there. This structure in front of me is apparently the oldest bank in Italy. It's called Monterey Pierce Key. So there's apparently 17 towns in this place, and the way you distinguish the town is by finding those fountains. So this fountain basically is distinguished by the eagle. It's Piazza De Pastiera, and that's basically what he was talking about in the beginning. The dragon was representing a different town. So yeah, now I got what the dragon thing was about. We found a park with a view. Let's see what it looks like. This is quite nice actually. You can hear the bells in the distance. So our guided tour has ended. We have an hour and a half to just wander around the city. And yeah, we're just gonna walk around and see what we find because I'm not too sure what there is to do here. So we've just been walking around. Nicole and I decided to get some tea, so we sat in a cafe for a while because it was freezing, and we're making our way back to the bus now. We have like about an hour and a half drive back to Florence, and yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna get up to. Probably just gonna have dinner and then go to the hostel, get my stuff ready for tomorrow because I have to leave early. We made it back to the hostel and I am gonna go straight to bed because I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's like 9 something, or maybe I should pack actually because I'm heading out to Zurich tomorrow. We said goodbye to Nicole because she was heading to Rome. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off here and I'll see you guys in Zurich.